understand what their concerns are and what kind of compromise we can make. Because the best negotiation is that no one leaves entirely happy, but everyone leaves with something that they can work with.
Next question we have is about for non-for-profits. So we've heard non-for-profits, there's been a delay with getting payments.
It's not working. Having worked at large bureaucratic institutions, this is something I've had to deal with every day. We're getting calls from different vendors, as well as not getting paid from people we provide services to. Efficiency and innovation in how we process basic systemic functions of an organization is something I do every day, whether it's digital solutions, whether it's thinking about what are the bottlenecks and how do we overcome them. And so solving for that red tape, behind the scenes, behind the desk, rolling up my sleeves and doing this kind of boring stuff is something I thrive in and live for. And I've done so in large organizations that are 7 to 20 layers deep in bureaucracy. So it's something that I will definitely focus on and enjoy doing it, probably.
So as our federal government and state government have created gaps for many of us in services, not-for-profits have stepped in to ensure that our communities are served. As someone who led a nonprofit in Queens, I can tell you I've lived this firsthand. The fear of not being able to make accounts payable because we did not get paid by the state or city grant where we honored that work with our labor and with the services that we gave to our community. It is really unfair, completely unfair, that those nonprofits then have to skate by or often forego the management's paycheck so that they can keep the place alive and open so that workers and members of the community can actually get those basic services met. So absolutely this is a priority of mine to ensure that government is efficient in paying the workers that are contributing to our community, and nonprofits are a huge and important part of that here in Astoria, Illinois.
I work with non-profit organizations, in the meantime in collaboration also with a lot of non-profit organizations. And I have seen how critically important the funding is because they run operations to help the most marginalized, most critical, and most excluded people. Sometimes they're not even documented where they live and how they receive support. This is the only way they can receive support. We have to make sure whether they're documented, not documented, high income, low income, even most marginalized, they all are us, they all are people. So to make sure those services are available is fundamentally important for a lot of people. I want to make sure all non-profit organizations have that funding needed to thrive so that our people are not excluded in any manner. Thank you.
I could talk about this issue forever. I am the founder and executive director of a nonprofit for the past 17 years, a nonprofit that has a storefront on Steinway Street. And the city and the state owe us lots of money. It is very difficult for us to be able to manage a staff, a team, to be able to provide resources to the communities that we need, especially as a smaller nonprofit. I know many larger nonprofits are able to have the capital at hand, but for nonprofits that don't have access to extra capital, don't have access to extra funds, it makes it extremely difficult for us to be able to provide the services that our communities so direly need. I've been able to move millions of dollars into this district by partnering with larger nonprofit organizations, but I have not been able to do so because through my own nonprofit, which is smaller, because of so much of the red tape. And so I think we need to support those nonprofits that are on the front lines, that are most connected to communities, and reciprocate some of the city legislation that we're seeing that was introduced by Justin Brannon that removes some of that red tape.
So, probably again one of the most highlighted issues facing not just Astoria or Queens or New York, the country as a whole, the immigration flood that we've been getting, crisis. We've been getting so many refugees. We might be getting more now that we have apparently an illegal war on our hands. That's through Donald Trump. Certainly that online. So I want to hear from you directly again, only a minute, and I know we can talk for 10 minutes on this, but talk about your direct work with the immigrant communities, folks who are facing either deportation, and not just the fun viral moments, but how you actually extended a bridge to them and made sure that they felt protected. We'll begin with Mary.
On myself as an immigrant, who came here as a first, at an adult. So I have seen, and I was working one of the school in District 36 here, that where over 90% of my students came from refugee families with housing insecurity, and also over 90% with language, little to no English language understanding, proficiency. So I am here committed to make sure that anyone who comes to our district, they already belong. God created them to make home in our district. So when in Albany, I will make sure that our state doesn't cooperate with the federal government in enforcement. We have to provide direct and fastest pathway for them, especially the adults who come here, so that they become, they have all authorization and they become productive members as soon as possible. So they are us, whether we make them suffer, they don't need to meet with cruelty, they need to meet with compassion that makes marriage divided. What I can say is like I'm here to fight for the migrants and to keep everyone safe and ourselves, and that and all of us, we can work together and make sure that they all belong, we all belong. Thank you.
So like Mary, I'm also an immigrant, and that's obviously shaped by worldview and focusing on economic lens. And I've also been a volunteer on it. And so, you know, unlike the incredible work of my colleagues here as organizers, my work has been behind the scenes. I've helped tons of students navigate the college and financial aid process because we all know when our parents bring us here, they're looking for us to have a better life, a more economic opportunity. I've helped people navigate the citizenship process, working with CUNY Citizenship Now. I've worked with the Planned Parenthood hotline to make sure people can access reproductive health care and women's health. So most of my work has been very individual, it's very confidential, it's focused on meeting people where they're at and helping them navigate tough processes, but also to really think about how we can help everyone build economic power so they have the resources to advocate for themselves. And so that one-on-one support is how I will continue to work with the immigrant community in addition to in a legislative way. Folks probably remember the Greg Abbott busing in asylum seekers into our city. Many of those asylum seekers, you saw the images, were in front of Roosevelt Hotel at Port Authority. I was actually one of the greeters at Port Authority. I speak Arabic and Spanish, welcoming many of those asylum seekers who were arriving. But also, when many of those asylum seekers made it into our district, mostly African, Black, Muslim asylum seekers, they were sheltered at Long Island City Shelter right here in the district. And every single week, we would go and provide hot meals, make sure that they had accessible halal food. We actually partnered with Assemblymember Mamdani's office to provide over 1,000 half-fare Metro cards, as well as IDCNY. We created a mail room for a lot of these asylum seekers because they don't necessarily have a permanent address to receive paperwork when they're receiving stuff from immigration, so they could come to our office and take the paperwork that they need. We also did clothing drives, but more than anything, we were a friendly face that helped them navigate a city that didn't have the resources. The city at the time did not know that there were African asylum seekers coming into the city. And we were the ones who were at the front lines, literally my mom in Arabic translating on the phone for the city government to be able to fill that gap. And that is the work that I intend to continue to do as an assessment.
This is deeply personal to me as someone who came to this country when I was 11 years old and had to grow up really fast by having to translate for my parents, navigate adult systems like helping them open a bank account, helping them apply for jobs, etc., etc. It's the defining moment of my life is being an immigrant to this country. And it has also defined my career, my professional career. From being a migrant tutor to children of migrant workers, to building a curriculum to support undocumented students navigating higher education, to helping undocumented immigrant workers right here in Queens navigate extremely new systems. First of all, I have to say, migrating to this country is an incredibly courageous thing to do by doing know your rights training and others to ensure that immigrants know what their rights are in this country and continue exercising them.
Yeah.
We're gonna move to the rapid fire portion. Emphasis on rapid. We're gonna go down and then back. We'll kind of keep going down.
How many words? Like one?
Okay, 3.
Like if you go over 10 seconds, like we're just gonna be angry.
I'll start throwing these random cups that are on my.
Anthony, I want to make sure that I if it takes a longer time than your allocated time for me to understand.
Understood.
Thank you.
So we'll start right off the top. What is your go-to breakfast order in your life? So, Rana.
My favorite thing is ammonia. They have a strapazzata. That's my go-to breakfast order.
Good.
It was bacon, egg, and cheese until I got a gluten, celiac diagnosis 2 years ago. So now, I'm gluten-free bagel. Really sick.
So breakfast order.
Mother of 3, I don't have luxury or that high income to pay princess to make home and enjoy breakfast with my children.
Little flowers, breakfast burrito, and when I have time, the big old platter with the pancakes and everything. It's so good.
Sort of building off of that, what's your go-to quick coffee shop? When you're on the run, where are you getting your cup of coffee? We'll go Diana and back down.
Madame Susu's on 33rd, just a black coffee with some sugar.
I support that.
Yeah.
Mary.
Again, I don't drink coffee. But I do go to coffee shop for socializing. Usually, the closest one next to my home is Dunkin' Donuts. So I enjoy that.
Chateau Lavoie, which I know sounds really bougie, but we get coffee and to pet a bunch of puppies along the way. It's one of the best parts of my day.
Yeah.
I have to go with my lunch.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's
pretty
a good answer.
I would have to say mocafe.
Okay, good. Now I wanted to say not for the Yankees, but we got the Knicks, we got the Jets, we got the Giants. What is your favorite New York sports team? Who gets you pumped up? Rhonda, we'll go with you and back down.
I love a good basketball game.
Is a Met fan?
All the way with the Mets. Go Mets!
Next, what is your favorite restaurant in Astoria? In the district.
We'll start with Diana and come back down.
Okay, because it came to mind because we've been supporting Freddie, King of Falafel all the way.
Astoria seafood. I love the seafood. Fresh fish. They make it on the spot.
Yeah.
This is so hard. I moved to Astoria because I love food, but pie boat because I lived in Thailand for 3 months and it's the same food you'll get on the side of the street. It's so good.
There we go.
Mine is Abu Eid.
So in 2020, who was your choice for Democratic candidate for president? Ron.
I voted on the and I voted for Kamala Harris.
Okay.
Hold on, I'm trying to get back to 2020 and trying to remember that we were on the ballot. I think I didn't.
Oh, Biden.
Biden, yeah.
Sorry, I messed up the
So,
dates.
Oh, right,
Are you asking about the primary or?
2020.
2020.
2020 was everybody, right?
The primary?
Primary. So Buttigieg, Harris, Bernie, Kamala, Cory Booker. So we'll start again. 2020 Democratic candidate.
Harris.
Mabili ka na
Harris
kami
and
sa
Biden.
Phoenix. 25 na Phoenix.
Bernie 2020.
in fact, they can vote for Bernie. I voted for Bernie.
Okay, our next question. So we're just going through the holidays in Astoria, right? What is your one favorite thing that you love about the holidays in Astoria? Which way do we start with?
Who went? Diana, you know, so we're coming back.
Okay, so now that I have a toddler, it's definitely the lights in Astoria and having my kid point to Santas and go, oh, oh, oh.
we're going through the holidays in Astoria. What is your one favorite thing about holidays in the district?
The diverse people enjoying the all kind of celebration together, joining each other's celebration, like kind of interfaith respect, and it is kind of a community, especially I spend my holidays in Queensbridge, Ravenswood, where people probably will be more, like my presence will be more felt in quality services and with services there. So I love that thing, like especially in those communities when people smile, it's a genuine smile. It's not a green smile. So during the holidays, we see the real smile, and I enjoy that thing.
Okay.
Scavenger hunt, escape room, and those shops full Astoria and the little check boxes is one of my favorite things to do. That's where I do all of it.
I have to say that Ramadan night market.
So, what is your least favorite thing about the district, about Astoria? Again,